Yes, thank you, Mr. Tremopoulos, for the invitation today, for giving us the opportunity to meet to discuss the transparency issue. Thanks as well to Jana and Jack for showing us the limits of available data in the fund spending, for reminding us that we should sometimes doubt that public money is spent for public goods and public benefits. My name is Markus Trilling. I am EU Funds Coordinator for CE Bankwatch and Friends of the Earth Europe. And I would like, in my 20 minutes presentation, would like to go one step back in the logic of our discussions today. So far, we've been talking about how the money is spent. For us as environmental NGOs, it is very important to get access or trying to monitor, to influence the political processes before the money is spent. This is why I would like focus on the participative elements in the decision-making processes which lead finally to spending, and would like to emphasize the fundamental importance of transparency within those decision-making processes. Some few words to my organizations. CE Bankwatch Network is an international network of environmental NGOs from Central and Eastern Europe. We have member groups in all new member states, the pre-accession candidates, Caucasus and Central Asia. Bankwatch is a watchdog organization monitoring the spending of public money for 15 years now. We are focusing mainly on the big public banks, which is the EIB and the EBRD, and the EU regional development funds. Monitoring the EU funds is a joint project with Friends of the Earth Europe. Friends of the Earth Europe is the regional office of Friends of the Earth International, the biggest grassroots environmental organization worldwide. As I mentioned before, we are watchdogging. We are following the money, the public money, not only for watchdogging it, but because we want to have an impact, to influence the processes and the mechanisms which finally decide upon the spending of public money. I will focus on two mechanisms within the regional policy, mechanisms of decision-making processes, how will be decided which money will be spent under which priorities, and as I think, key aspects of transparency within those mechanisms. The so-called partnership principle is one of these participative elements within the planning, implementing, monitoring of the cohesion funds. So I will first spend some words on the importance of this participation of the partnership principle. in the second step, I will try to figure out where are the bottlenecks to make this participation effective. And Mr. Tremopoulos mentioned it at the beginning. Last, I will try to illustrate the importance of transparency, access to data in time when we're talking about major projects. Major projects are fixed as a project with a financing volume besides the EU of more than 50 million euros. Coming back to the so-called partnership principle within the cohesion policy, or more specific, partnership principle in the social, structural and cohesion funds. In the so-called general legislation on the social and cohesion funds, there is a paragraph binding member states to organize rules of partnership. So we see here, this is in the end in member states' responsibility how they organize participation in those processes. For us as environmental NGOs, we are pleased to be named in Part C, which is a novelty in comparison with the last year's regulation. And the goal and purpose of the partnership is to have a cooperation, exchange in the preparation, implementation and evaluation of operational programs. Operational programs are, let's say, the envelopes out of which the money from the regional funds will be taken out in the end. So this is a clear legal basis on those of this partnership principle. And besides this legal obligation, we as environmental NGO have a special benefit of this possibility to participate in the decision-making processes. This is, of course, it increases the transparency of the fund spending, in theory, as we heard. But the fact that there is an open door for public participation should as well enhance the legitimacy of the EU policy in general. What is important for us as well is the possibility and the opportunity to promote alternative solutions, to get some independent voices into the decision-making process, and finally to raise awareness and to initiate public debate when you think this is needed. When we are successful through those public participation and partnership principle, we can stop the investments for projects which have a negative social and environmental impact. When we are successful, we succeed in mainstreaming environmental protection into the whole range of the operational programs and of the regional funding. And finally, not the least important aspect, that with us as additional control mechanism, we have an eye on member states and how they implement that environmental legislation, how they conduct